In 2023, I got engaged and married to the love of my life, passed the Step 1 exam, started riding again, competed in 3 CrossFit competitions, officially became a 6-figure business owner, booked a month-long trip to Australia, and I also had a lot of failure spirals. As 2023 comes to an end, a lot of us are saying goodbye to an era for better or for worse, and are ready to make 2024 the best year yet, and I am certainly no exception. This is now my 3rd year in a row making a vision board and being a bit more intentional about the yearly goals that I have, and as I sit here in Australia, on the 10th day of my trip, having went for a beautiful beach walk every single morning with the pups that I'm dog sitting, having yesterday found out that I passed Step 1, which I worked so hard for and didn't use any dedicated so I could have this trip. I can truly say that this process has helped me create a perfectly imperfect life of joy, adventure, productivity, happiness, organization, all the good things. So let's dive right in and talk about what I do every year. 2 old things and 2 new things that I'm adding on just to continue to refine the process and make it even better. So the steps I'm following this year. Step 1 is to review 2023. This is one of the new things I did, and it was really surprising. We'll talk more about it later, but it was really surprising and I really loved that I did it. Step 2, of course, make goals for 2024. Step 3 is to make a vision board, my absolute fave. I love this entire process, but I'm obsessed with the making a vision board part. And step 4 is to make an action plan. Small things, like think, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time kind of action plan, like very small things you can turn into habits and gain momentum like right off the bat in January to actually achieve your goals. Oh, and don't forget to download the workbook that goes along with this so you can follow along and participate in the 4 steps. And also I'll have a link to a Canva template to make a vision board that looks similar to mine, the ones that are on Canva. There's not a ton of pictures, and I put a ton of pictures in mine this year and I love it so much. All right, now let's get into it. All right, step 1, reviewing 2023. The surprising thing about this is that I got the idea from Bliss Bean, I think. Go through every month and just like highlight what went well. So I went on my iPad, or I went on my phone and just like scrolled pictures from every month and then put it on like Notability and on my iPad and just picked out the pictures for every month of things that just made me happy. And the surprising thing was that I kind of forgot all these happy things that happened each month. I got married this year, so I was like, oh, well, obviously August when I got married, that was amazing. And January when I got engaged, amazing. And like, what really amazing happened in between? Something for every month, let me tell ya. September, I was like, oh, nothing cool happened in September, like truly. I freaking was first assist for a brain surgery. That is so cool. I can't believe I forgot that. And then, I don't know, like 1 month George and I did a CrossFit competition. I flew to Maryland to do a CrossFit competition with Brooke. So just going month by month, like that was amazing and I will never not do that again. So highly recommend. And then other things that I did, I just kind of wrote down hard things for this year. I think this will be fun, like looking back 10 years from now and being like, one of the things I wrote down was doing long distance with George 10 days after our wedding was so hard, leaving him at the airport that first time. But I'm guessing like 5-10 years down the road, we're gonna be like, oh my God, that was 3 months and that was like literally nothing. And you know, life's been perfect ever since. Not perfect, but that'll be fun to look back on. Oakley got diagnosed with epilepsy this year. That was hard and sad, and yeah, oh my God, the worry of failing step, and yeah. I wrote a list of hard things. And then themes from this year, I kind of wrote down just like I took like no breaks. I swear the only days of 2023 that I had no agenda was when we were in Hawaii. I cannot recall a day I did nothing. Like just woke up, had no agenda, watched Netflix all day. Like a picture of Netflix, in a living room all done up with like twinkle lights and Netflix on a big like screen is literally on my vision board this year because I took no breaks, no planned breaks. Bad. I felt like a failure constantly this year, and I was I did really good not thinking about whether I passed or failed step, but the worry of like, wow, like what a way to end this year, another big failure, like after feeling I failed so many other things, like the whole surgery shelf. Anyway, this isn't about me, this is about you, but like that was one of my themes. But I really did like enjoy this year at the same time. So I wrote down truly enjoying the journey and being just like feeling like I'm at the point in life where George and I can travel where we want, minus this Australia trip because he has to work. But like from now on, we can buy what we want. You know, we could pay $6 for raspberries at the grocery store and it's fine. Like really enjoying the journey. I'm happy and just it's happy, but also felt like offended constantly. So anyway, those were my themes. Surprises, what didn't you expect? If you told me in January I booked a trip to Australia for a whole month and like George couldn't come, I went by myself and was dog sitting, I wouldn't be surprised because that does sound like something I would do, but definitely couldn't have predicted it, that's for sure. I didn't even know what third year would look like or when we were taking step in January, so that's definitely a surprise. This one I didn't have much to write. It's not as exciting as the month by month one, I don't think. And that's the main things I did for this category. The things that fall under this category are reviewing last year's goals, what did you accomplish, what could have been better, like are you satisfied, blah, 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 like things like that. And I am going to pin that and save it for the last step because I'm going to ask myself those things as I'm making my action plan for 2024 because asking yourself those questions is the perfect like thing to reflect and be like, okay, well, this goal didn't get reached because XYZ, so my plan for 2024 goals is to do this. So you can do it in whatever order you want, but I am gonna ask myself that at the end. Step 2 is pretty self-explanatory, but that is to make goals for 2024. I personally like measurable goals. Like it doesn't even have to be the whole SMART thing, like just a specific thing, like versus like, oh, feel happy, you know. For my business, I want to make 500K. Last year, my goal was 300K and it didn't make that, but this year is the year. And I've already done the whole action plan thing for that. Otherwise, they're not finalized. Obviously, we're gonna do international travel where George can finally come with me. I think he wants to go to New Zealand. I told him he could pick since I got to do this trip and he's like jealous, you know. School, there's none because I'm just gonna see where this year takes me. I don't know if I want to apply ortho. I'm gonna do the electives and just see if I really am obsessed with it and I do want to, or if I could do without it in the 5-year very difficult residency. And I just have no idea. I cannot predict how I'm gonna feel or what I'm gonna want to do with my med school career 1, 3, 4, 5, let alone 12 months from now. So I don't have anything for school other than just really like giving my all into my rotations and like not letting my business be a reason that I like can't study for this or I can't answer that question because I was working on a reel or something. Like I don't want that to happen, but that's not really like a specific goal. And YouTube and Instagram, 100,000. That's just like I got big business goals and the rest is like, you know, for life I put New Zealand, visit both sets of parents. School I said none, just see where this year takes me. So numbers are fun, specifics are fun, or you could just be like, you could just kind of like do a journal prompt of like at the end of this year and you could write it in the retrospect, like say, I was able to fully explore my interest in ortho and then I decided blah, blah. Like you could do a journal prompt if you're kind of like me and you don't have those specifics. But I really like specifics. I just happen to only have it for business. Anyway, you get the point. Make some goals for 2024, okay? Step 3 is to make a vision board. This is my absolute favorite. I will put my vision board up here that I just finished today. And I did it a little bit differently. Usually I put my goals on the vision board, but this one, like I kind of did, there's a Bronco on there. Like part of me wants to be able to buy my dream car in cash. Part of me is like, that's a lot of cash. I could pay for a trip and then buy like the whole family for the amount of a car. So I'm not making that a specific goal. It's just on there because it's something I want. And I guess it more like symbolizes like if I could buy my dream Bronco in cash, that means my business goal was either met or exceeded. So that's why I put it on there. It kind of like represents success if I could. Whether or not I actually would pay that much money for a car, I don't know if I could do it this year. But my vision board is beautiful. Other things, I just like went through Pinterest for literally 4 hours and saved every single picture that just made me happy. Things I wanted was like, I wanted a GSP on there for Oakley, I wanted love quotes, I wanted like romantic pictures, obviously beach, and I put pictures of New Zealand and Germany and the Dolomites and just travel places that make me happy and lake houses because that makes me happy. And there's paddleboarding, the Bronco and horses. Oh my God, horses. That is a notable thing when I was going through month by month. I was like, oh my God, I started riding again in one of those months. So like, my vision board just makes me happy, and when it's posted on my wall and I look at it, it will just remind me, like, take breaks and do all these things that make you happy. But also there's things that symbolize like working hard and like reaching your goals. Then I highly recommend picking a word for the year. I don't know if I'm gonna go back and incorporate it into my vision board, but my word for this year is cozy. And there is going to be a whole thing starting like January where we're gonna have the cozy girl era, and there's gonna be some weekly things and just fun little things where basically you guys are gonna be my accountability to do weekly resets, which I'll talk more about in step 4, and then we can do it together, and I just have lots of fun ideas. But cozy to me means like reaching my goal, but feeling less chaotic and stressed and not constantly feeling like a failure. Like, as I learned, those were themes when reviewing 2023. So cozy in that, like, I've also been wanting to like buy a cozy chair for my office. I just want to like have a cozy morning routine. Like, I want to accomplish my goals, but like breathe and be happy and organized and productive, but emphasis on the happy and productive. I really want both. And you can't be perfect. Like, I'm not gonna try to get a 270 on step and feel la-di-da-di-da happy every day about it. Like, there will be stress, but just less chaotic, less stress, more breaks. That's what cozy means to me, and that's gonna be my word of the year. Would love to know in the comments what your word of the year is going to be. Last year it was systems, and I feel like I crushed that. I feel like we have some really good systems, and yeah, picking a word of the year is so fun. I was gonna do scale, but I think this year I want to put more emphasis on like the breaks and like doing things that make me happy, more riding, just happy. I'm already so happy, but I want more happy. So yeah, that is vision board step. Lastly, step number 4 is to set yourself up for success by making an action plan. So this is a new one also that I'm doing, because you can make all these goals, but if you don't have something like to do day by day to reach them, then it doesn't really matter. And like I said, it kind of related to how I was like, oh, I didn't hit 300K this year, but I'm gonna hit 500K. I feel like doing this step will be the difference. Like, why didn't we make 300K? Like, what can we do in January to hit that revenue goal? And like, I have other ideas for other streams of income, but those aren't gonna happen in January. So what do we have now that will hit the monthly goal? Like, what is the monthly goal to hit that yearly goal? And then what can we do? What do we have now to improve to hit that monthly goal? And then then I go back and think about, okay, what am I gonna do in December? What are 3 things I can do in December to reach that goal? What will I do weekly in January to reach that goal? So really, like, this is like the ultimate working backwards. Like, 500K a year is $41,666 a month, and then divided by like how many sales, like blah blah blah. So like that one is easy because it's working with numbers. But for example, like let's say I want to score 270 on step 2, which I have to take by July 19th. All right, then working backwards. I love making study schedules. So I got 6 months. What am I going to start with? Start by researching, and then okay, what am I going to do month by month? Where am I going to fit that studying into my schedule? When am I going to take the test? This is all about action plans. So in the workbook, there will be a lot of ideas, but one thing I also did to set myself up for success was a digital declutter. One of the things that I want to do is, instead of like saying, oh, my goal is to read 30 books, my goal is to pick like 5 books, productivity books. I also want to read fiction books, don't worry. Take breaks. I'm gonna do it. Picking 5 productivity books and thing that I need to implement to do better, as far as like not being so chaotic, stressed, like feeling like a failure, is weekly resets. I have been trying to implement it for so long. I want to sit down every Sunday, review my week, know what I'm working towards for the upcoming week, like what didn't work for the previous week, and just continue to intentionally refine my daily habits. That is going to be my key to success in 2024, and I know that from reviewing 2023, and I'm basically gonna give myself till the rest of December to really get into the nitty-gritty of like what daily habits, like what am I gonna review every week so I know I'm on track. Like, I want a system to be able to be like, hey, we're in the green zone, we're chilling, we're crushing it, or like we're in the red zone and we need to like fix it. Like, to be able to like not go 3 weeks in a row in the red zone and realize it when it's too late, but like be able to realize when I need to fix something sooner, so there's less stress, I guess. There's a lot of things, but the biggest one is like working backwards from your goals. Another thing is having an accountability system. So like I said, I plan to use my following, like my newsletter. I'm going to do weekly resets and like kind of tie it all in, and so you guys can keep me accountable and we can kind of do it together. Accountability system is big. You could also be like, do this with a friend, or be like, hey, if you don't hear from me by this time that I did this, like I owe you Starbucks, kind of thing. Like something to keep you accountable accountable. And then the digital declutter, I'm kind of jumping around, but that's related to, I read The Second Brain, and I can't remember if I finished it or what, but Getting Things Done. Those are two of the productivity books I actually want to implement in my life, because getting things done is like how you always know what to work on. If you have 5 minutes, Ali Abdaal calls it like the McDonald habit or something. But like if you have 5 minutes, instead of scrolling, you know exactly what you could be working on. And like you just constantly know what projects you could be working on. Like if you have no internet, you know what you could be doing right now. Not that you should be being productive every second of the day, but the digital declutter thing is I needed to do because I've been kind of doing the second brain tips, and I've been kind of doing stuff and getting things done. And one of the things I'm good at is always brain dumping. Like I always have a place to put my thoughts, the way that I set up my phone, but then I don't do the weekly review. So it doesn't work that well to keep on track. So I just know that's a huge thing I can do to set myself up for success in 2024. That was really rambly, but yeah, the workbook will be more organized, and you can kind of just pick like what you know will work best after you review 2023. Or if you have no idea where to start, just pick something small. Like literally, one of my things in this category is gonna be read 2 pages a day, because that is so easy. I always wanna read more, and then it just like lowers the barrier to entry. Like if I were like read 20 pages a day, I'm not gonna pick up the book. If I'm reading 2 pages a day, I can do that. Okay? It's all about small steps and daily habits, and that's what I'm focusing on. And yeah, let me know how it goes in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys on how it goes. All right, we did it. The step forward got a little rambly, but hopefully you got a lot of value out of this video. Please let me know in the comments how it goes. I really want to hear from you guys. And if you're struggling on where to start on the action plan, you should watch the video next where I go over how I time block using Google Calendar, because it's one of the #1 things I've been doing like since college. Like if I got a good grade in a college class, it's because of time blocking and this. So watch that video next. Otherwise, don't forget to download the workbook, because if you do, then you'll be in my newsletter. Like I said, I have some stuff to finalize, and I'll keep you all updated in my newsletter, and we can kind of go through this happy productivity journey together in 2024, and I'm so excited. So watch the next video about time blocking. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow along on Instagram, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.